Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my platform. I hope that you guys are having a good day, good afternoon, evening, whenever you get to watching this reading. So just to let you guys know that if you have any personal questions, go ahead and send me a $20 super chat with your question. And the question, I forgot to write that in the chat. Okay, so your personal question has to be about your life, not somebody else's. And I understand if you're like dating somebody and you want dating advice or something like that. I can read other people's energy through your energy, but I won't be reading people's energies that are not present to give me consent to do so. Okay, so yeah, that's always available for you guys. Just to let you know. Make sure you like the live as you come into the live stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Happy Monday to you as well, Fashionista. And make sure you tap that notification bell so you're notified every time that I go live. Okay. You don't want to miss out on the messages that Spirit has for you. All right. So now we're going to go through the prayer. So we're calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, asking that they would be with us. We're also calling upon Jesus Christ, the Ascended Master, and any other Ascended Masters that would like to be with us today to give us assistance. We're also calling upon the Archangels, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, and our ancestors. And we would just like to ask them that they put a shield of protection around us for today, for actually every reading. And please block out, when we're asking Archangel Sachiel, Ariel, Uriel, and Archangel Michael to please block out anyone or anything that would try to negatively influence or impact this reading in any way. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, and the highest truth to be revealed to me and my collective, and I pray for all of my subscribers. So now as I call upon your personal favor, Most High, I'd like to ask that you continue to give me strength and courage and protection and safety during my life's work and mission here on the earth. I'm eternally grateful for your favor, Heavenly Source, and for your unfailing love. Thank you for blessing me and my subscribers. And thank you for healing the sick and creating miracles. In your holy name, Lord my God, I give gratitude and thanks. I pray into thy holy presence and meditate upon your divine will. Amen. And then now we're going to do the contract. So by watching my videos, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my platform, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. Also, this contract includes gatekeeping, copywriting, shadow banning, evil eye, and energy harvesting. And witchcraft. Don't be doing any of that stuff. Everything said on this platform is copyrighted by God and the Holy Spirit. Okay. So my message is that somebody, thank you, verifying red beer. I hope you guys are staying hydrated as well. So somebody went I don't know, last night and this morning into the spirit, asking, and this is going to sound really ridiculous. That's why I put it in the title for this video. Somebody was asking, I wish that they would stop praying, asking some type of spirit or deity, whatever, to make you guys stop praying. I know that seems like really ridiculous. Why would anybody do that? They obviously, your prayers are working, but that's why. Somebody's like, can we just block their prayers? And the spirit realm is like, no, you cannot just block their prayers. If they're praying and staying prayed up, then obviously they're protecting themselves. You cannot just block somebody's prayers. That's not possible. I mean, if it was a prayer of God, I pray that person falls down and hurts themselves, that could get blocked. But people just making Psalm 91, just praying actual prayers. So it could even be the Lord prayer that you're using. I laugh at this because why would anybody think that they could go into the spirit and petition the spiritual realm to not listen to your prayers or to get you to stop praying? That's super demonic sounding to me. So anyways, somebody wants to cut off your direct connection to source. They're ashamed of their own behavior, and they don't want you gaining, I don't know, help from the divine. They want you completely casted away, ignored, and like put off to the side where nobody's going to look at you and ever decide to help you again. Welcome in, Gagan. At which this is just bizarre. Like it is, I've never ever heard anything like this before. Like, God, can you just block their prayers? What the hell? Who would say that to the Most High? That is insane. So we're going to find out who this person is. And just know that obviously somebody has to go in and pray for you not to pray, or like to make a lapse in your cleansing. You know, you did feel something very heavy while you were praying. Wow. If someone was banging on your head, well, this is definitely an indication this message is for you. Because I felt that pushback, and I was like when I was praying, I was hearing some voice say, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I'm like, no, like anything that's demonic, if it's got a problem with me praying, it needs to go find another host or something else. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm never going to just stop praying, because I know what life was like before I prayed. And then I know what life is like since I've been praying. So why would I ever go back? So anyway, somebody wants you to feel like your prayers are not going to be answered, or that God's not going to hear you. That's a lie. You guys are being heard, obviously, or the spirit would not feel like, and I don't know what spirit it is. I don't give a fuck what it is, but whatever that energy is, got a real big problem with you praying it out of your space. So whatever you're doing is working. And I saw this Queen of Wands when I was like making sure that all of these cards were in the upright. This one was the one that flipped over. And I was like, oh, I bet that there's a Queen of Wands. There is a Queen of Wands. In fact, I'm picking up on some like satanic kitty. This person could be a devil worshiper. So this is somebody who's like extremely attractive, or maybe they could even be a tarot reader. Whoever they are, they've got an actual familiar that's like a cat. You know how they say, or I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but they say that you can't leave a cat in the same room as a baby in a crib, because cats will steal the breath of the baby or something, and they like end up unaliving the baby in some type of way. I've never seen anything about that before. Well, I've heard of that, but I've never seen anything psychically about that before until now. This person's cat, there may be something going on with them. Maybe they've tried to do something like that. Like, I feel like this person's got a demonic cat, point blank period. I don't know why I'm seeing that with the card today, but maybe their cat is like possessed or something. And I don't know if it's true that cats steal the breath of babies. I don't know if that's actually true, but I know it is an old wives' tale. I guess we could search it. So if you have a baby and you have a cat, you'll have to let me know if you think that it's true. Cats. Do cats steal the breath of sleeping babies? No, it's not. See, it's not true. It says, no, cats do not steal a baby's breath. This was a persistent but untrue old wives' tale with no scientific basis. I knew that shit had to be bullshit. Okay. Thank you, Google, for confirming. But there may be something about an old wives' tale. Maybe you're doing something out of superstition. This person's familiar it's giving me a kind of like Sabrina vibes. You know how the cat on Sabrina, I think his name's Salem, it can talk and stuff. I feel like this person communicates with their cat telepathically. This is definitely giving me like big witch vibes. So there is a female. She feels like she could be an air sign. She could be a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius, or have that highly aspect in her chart. This is somebody that's extremely competitive. But they do feel like they're always creative and full of creative ideas. They get very creative on how they can use this dumb witchcraft crap. to scare you. It's like literally to scare you, because I don't feel like this person has the power to get you to stop praying. I mean, literally, this person has been booted out of your energy in the past 24 hours. So you did something good. I'm glad. When it stopped, you started feeling heavy again. Keep praying. There's more Psalms than just Psalm 91. So Psalm 91 is for protection. Okay. I'm just going to type it in the chat. Psalm 23 is for abundance and like an easy life, I would say. Easy life of comfort. Psalm 112 is for wealth and riches. And then Psalm 121 is to detest evil. So those are some really good Psalms to work with. In fact, I would just play, Gagan, I would play the entire book of Psalms, just like let it play in your house for a day. That way you could become more familiar with each of the Psalms and what they do. Welcome in, Girl Gone. Who's the guardian that has been with you since you were a kid? Feels like a female. Okay. Let's see what type of energy we have. All right. So, some people have guardian angels. Some people don't have guardian angels. I'm picking up that this is a guardian angel that you have, but before they were a guardian angel, they were like a family member to you. And this happens every so once in a while. I don't see it as common as spirit guides. Like a lot of the times when somebody will pass away, they will choose to become your spirit guide and then like hang around in the spirit basically until you pass over as well. But what they are doing while they're hanging around the spirit is that God's allowing them to have access to you so that they can give you messages, dreams, and stuff like that. What I'm picking up is that guardian angels, when somebody chooses to become a guardian angel, it's a bigger commitment than becoming a spirit guide. And I say that because guardian angels are in the position of being somebody's guardian angel for like 4,000 years. They do 4,000 years of lifetimes helping somebody. And then they'll move on to a different position or they'll renew their contract. So what I'm getting is that this was somebody that you were related to in this lifetime. It feels like a great grandmother, a great great grandmother, something like that. Anyways, this person was an angel in their regular life, like literally the way, and I do get that this is biological family. So this is somebody on your mother's side, maybe her great grandmother. So Gagan, I'm answering Girl Gone's question because she sent me a super chat. She does have her own powers, absolutely. And they are given unique powers and abilities to help you. But so to further talk about why this is so like epically important, it's like you have somebody in your bloodline that it feels like a great great grandmother on your mother's side that wanted to be the guardian angel because she knew that she wasn't going to get to have a lifetime with you here. And so she is watching over you. Very, very potent energy. She's definitely come in at this time where you can notice her. She's actually been with you the entire time, but she's coming in. Is she from your Native American side? Is your mother's side Native American? Or do you know? Because she's from your mother's side. And she's not showing up to me as a Native American. She's showing up to me as a guardian angel, which is actually it's like kind of like actually they have to go through a little learning process and then they get their wings. But what I'm seeing is, Aleister Crowley, when he made Thelema Mayan. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She does hold kind of that energy. Definitely more Mayan energy for sure. when Aleister Crowley made he made the religion Thelema, one of his greatest workings, and it's one of the rituals that like never can be completed, or it just very rarely is. Like when somebody completes this ritual, they're completely changed. And it's to get in touch with the holy guardian angel. So I feel like it's not like you've done that ritual, but you're still getting these side effects of that because you're able to see and perceive, and you've been dreaming about this woman. I feel like she's coming in right now because you're getting on your spiritual journey. And what I'm hearing is that she wants to help you realize things about yourself that if you knew your biological family, they would tell you these things. Okay. She's saying that there are some contracts that still need to be resolved on the mother's side. So I don't know what type of contracts what are these contracts? Some type of spiritual contract with working. Interesting. So I think if you were to be able to speak with your birth family, you would find out that your birth family's lineage had a history of being oppressed. You had a dream about an older lady in a cave. Wow. And you cried and she looked like a shaman. Yeah. This is exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah. She still feels like an older lady to me, even though she's a guardian angel. So she's coming in to help you with, that's too many cards, Spirit. Come on. She's coming in to help you with shamanism, healing, getting back to nature. The reason that you saw her and she was in the cave is because caves represent like connecting with inner Gaia. They also represent an incubation stage. So you could feel like you're in an incubation stage right now, kind of like, or incubation, or like you could look at it also like a caterpillar building a cocoon, getting ready to turn into a butterfly. I think that she's coming forward to teach you how to use herbs to heal and how to use nature to create harmony and to heal. A lot about healing, a lot about harmony. I'm also seeing inside this cave that there's hieroglyphics. So maybe there's a sacred site that this person visited. I'm kind of getting like almost an African vibe as well from her. She's got a couple different very powerful energies flowing through her. I'm feeling like North Africa as well. So maybe this woman traveled when she was alive. She can change her appearance. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense because I definitely am picking up a couple different energies, but it's like the old way of thinking of things. I feel like she was somebody that you would go to find out what was going on in your bloodline. Or if you wanted to know the sex of a baby, she was somebody you could have gone to. I do feel like that there were a lot of very protective rituals done in this cave by her and other family members and other tribes people. And whatever this ritual that was done in this cave is protecting your guys' bloodline. In fact, it's keeping you very close to nature. I'm wondering if she's the one that put up these hieroglyphs, because she definitely has a story to tell about how they withstood invaders, not human invaders, but like extraterrestrial invaders, maybe from the ocean as well. In a white robe, so wondering if she's still there, if it's a different guide. Let me just ask her. No, I think that one is actually a different guide. Well, it could be the same guide, just younger on in her lifetime. She's trying to show you, because you don't have the known history from your biological side. She's trying to show you like a pattern. And this is why she wants you to know that you're being called to be a healer, is because this pattern has replayed. It's like something that when the aliens came down, they chose the people that were supposed to lead the tribes and were supposed to be the healers. And then they gave them extraterrestrial knowledge and connections, basically, maybe even some technology. Um, so yeah, it could be technology as well. But it was only given to people that were highly ranked, in society, and highly ranked spiritually, not like just financially. And so that's why you've got the shamanism in your bloodline, and you've got the healing ability so strong, and it is a repeated pattern. If you were able to speak with your biological family, you would find that there are a lot of shamans, a lot of healers, a lot of tarot readers, a lot of Reiki practitioner people. You would definitely see that there's a pattern of that type of thing being done. And so I do feel like this is your time to step into your power, Girl Gone, and it's also your time to awaken to these abilities that I feel like the extraterrestrials awakened within her a very long time ago. But the rituals were done so that you would follow, so the people in the bloodline would follow this same magical, I want to call it a magical path, because it's not just healing, it's also healing with herbs and magic. Yeah, she wants to clear up this 8 of air, doubt and confusion, because I don't know if you've been doubting or confusion. She also wants to clarify that in the past, y'all's bloodline, at least on that side, had been oppressed. The free will was being messed with, which I felt something like slavery, but it could just be oppression. And so that's something that you're still processing now. I'm also, oh, so yeah, she's showing me Egypt again. Wow. So you have so many connections to Egypt. Oh my gosh. Egyptian tribal. Yeah. Oracle vibes. Yeah. Shaman for sure. For sure. Yeah. And she's been in the family. Like, she keeps reincarnating in the same bloodline. And I do feel like she's chosen to be your guardian angel so that you don't fall into this self-doubt. Because when you don't know about yourself, like, when you don't have access to those types of records, and it's important for you to know about yourself, the divine will send you downloads. So you definitely receive the download. 6 of water, memories, childhood, nostalgia. You could have healed people when you were a child and not even realized it. Because I feel like this ability has been with you your entire life. It's also with your children. The Knight of the Earth. And I've never seen a female knight before, but that kind of does give me your energy. Organized, responsible, supportive. She's hugging like a beautiful coin right there. So poverty could have been something in that it was also cleared up, like slavery and poverty. I'm also hearing that during the rise of like the Persian Empire, this is like something totally separate, but during the rise of the Persian Empire, you were one of the peoples that fought the Persians off. Yeah, you were one of the peoples that fought the Persians off. And some of these people that were in this Persian army, you actually had interactions with in this lifetime. So you're kind of healing old, I don't know if they're imbalances, old injustices basically in the bloodline. And your guardian angel is saying that that basically you're the most evolved out of the whole bloodline so far. You're the most evolved, and so you have the ability to pull the bloodlines basically out of whatever this poverty was. And it's literally because you had a lifetime before money was even a thing, and then when it became a thing, people started using it for evil purposes. And so you've always been somebody that's a knight energy that stands up for other people that are weak. And I also am hearing, the civilization of Mu, that you've got wisdom coming from that as well. And when the civilization of Mu was like billions of years ago, okay, like before the dinosaurs, on this planet, and the people that were well, first of all, the planet was predominantly divine feminine energy. And the people that were in the civilization of Mu, the people that led the civilization, I should say, were all females. They were female divine feminine channelers. They used a lot of sound and a lot of frequency to heal and to harmonize with the planet. And so they were like the oracles, they were singers. All of these great abilities that you have are actually stemming from way, way back then, but they've been kept in the bloodline. And I feel like if you were ever to meet your biological family, they would tell you about the line of healers, that you guys are all healers, all tarot readers. And the ones that are not professional tarot readers and healers are ones that could be professional. They just don't do it professionally. So there is a reason why that's being revealed to you right now, to help you go through this awakening process and to know that you're not alone, because sometimes it can feel a little bit lonely and almost like we're being isolated by spirit. The isolation is actually a good thing. And why do I say that? Because when you're isolated and it seems hardcore to have your support stripped from you, but that's not actually what this is. Even though that's what it would look like. Most people would say that, oh, I've gone through an isolation period, that I've had everything stripped from me and I'm on my own. But what it causes you to do is go within and then basically gain and access that inner power. And I also am picking up on a mermaid connection. So you still have mermaid in your blood right now. Like, if there was a way to study that, you would be a great study subject, like seriously. And I'm also hearing that that you had 2 lifetimes in Egypt, one where you were living on one side of the Nile and the other one was on the other side of the Nile. So you're very connected into the flow of water. You may not be a water sign, but you're still very connected to the flow of water. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly it. That they've been reborn again and again because of the gifts that they have to help the world. Absolutely. And just like how I said, the being a guardian angel is like a 4,000-year commitment. Your bloodline has been extremely committed to seeing the human race succeed. And you guys have fought off giants, reptilians, other things from space. Like literally, you've got warrior and you've got healer, which is really cool. I think that you would be so astonished to find this out if you ever got to talk to your birth family. Yes, you feel like you've been on the poor and rich side, but had gifts regardless. That's exactly it. Yeah, the gifts are. This is why nobody will be able to block you or strip you of your gifts, literally, because there's something that this ancestor has become a guardian angel, and most likely because somebody was going to try to do this dumb shit. I really feel like when people come in like this and they're relatives of yours and they want to be a guardian angel, I do feel like there is a reason for that. Could be that somebody was trying to mess with your abilities or mess with your power. And this is like all of the other lifetimes have led up to this lifetime, and you're the chosen one in your family. And so that's why she also wants you to know that there were beings that existed before Adam and Eve and Adam and Lilith, and you're connected to those very ancient beings. I feel like they came from the inside of the earth. They were not on the, like how we're on the outside of the earth. I think the Garden of Eden's on the inside of the earth. And so I don't feel like the beings that you descend from were not kicked out of the garden. Some people do have connection to Adam and Eve and Adam and Lilith, but you've got a connection to Lilith for sure, but something even older than that as well, that still is in the inside of the earth. So basically you've got protection inside and on the outside. Yeah, Knight of Fire. You're entering into a period of being very confident in your awakening and adventurous and passionate. And that's exactly where this guide wants you to be, because you're opening up, and they're growing, they're flourishing, and you're experiencing new ways to interpret things. And so what I'm being guided to say is that when you get sentences that come through as messages, write them down. Even if it doesn't make sense at the time, it will make sense. Yeah, Gaia and the elements are very old beings that were here first. Absolutely. And it could be elemental energy, to be honest. Yeah. I do feel also that, you know, you've had lifetimes where you've had more than one version of yourself on the planet at one time because you wanted to experience both sides of a situation. That's where I'm getting the both sides of the Nile. Yeah. I'm also hearing that you go back to this cave in the dream state quite often. You've actually been meeting there with this guide for a minute. And so she's showing me all of the hieroglyphics in on the side on the cave wall. And it's basically showing a battle with fish people. Okay, they look like people compared with a fish, like a mermaid, and then the people of the land. And I feel like you guys have been stabilizing forces for land and for sea. I don't know if you're passionate about the ocean, but the ocean is very passionate about you. I feel like if you were to literally ever be on the ocean and need of assistance, some type of mermaid-like creature would show up to help you because you have it in your blood. Or you may find that you can breathe underwater. I know that sounds real fictitious, but like literally it happens. People that are abducted by mermaids, that's the first thing, that process that they're put to. They're given through some type of herb or something like that. Or maybe it's some type of fish they eat and it gives them the ability to breathe underwater. And so I'm feeling like, yeah, you're being guided. It's almost like the story of Amaterasu, how she wants to shy away from the world. She goes into the cave and then they bring like a mirror to her. Yeah, has tarot readings, and I have a lot of past life and thought you were in prison, but then wondering if you chose for a reason. I feel like you were in prison, but it was like not just you, it was your entire tribe or group of people. But you escaped with your freedom in that life. So that, and I think that she's showing me all these things that you've been through, because what you're facing now seems like it could be a huge hurdle, but it's not as big. It's not as threatening as what you were facing in other lifetimes, and you really succeeded. Like you've been chosen for a reason. You know what I mean? And I do feel like you've always been a force to reckon with. 9 of water. This lifetime is about getting your wishes fulfilled. And you getting your wishes fulfilled literally fulfills the wishes of this ancestor / guardian angel. It's I'm wondering if this guardian angel is another version of you. No, it's just an ancestor, but I can see how a part of this ancestor exists on the inside of you. If you knew that, like if this person could be alive right now, you would realize that you guys have so much in common. Like seriously, so much in common. The way that you look at things. And I also feel like she's here to teach you the hidden like properties of herbs and how to use them to heal any type of disease. Yeah, interesting. So we have the high priestess here, which we know that that's you and that's her. High priestess, intuition, wisdom, and patience. And then we have the ace of water. Yes, you guys resemble each other like a lot. That's why I feel like if you were ever able to meet your family's side, you would be like, oh my God, I look just like great grandma on mother's side. This ace of waters is emotion, relationships, and intuition. So you are being led by this holy, I want to call it the holy guardian angel. Look, release and renewal right next to one another. So release talks about endings, transformation, and freedom. So you've broken some type of cycle that was on your bloodline. Oh, you cried and you woke up crying. Wow. Wow. And it says endings, transformation, freedom, reflection, self-evaluation, and rebirth. And so this is a rebirth of your purpose. And then the 10 of fire, this is the old you. The 10 of fire is like being overworked, stressed, and imbalanced. That was, you had to go, you've gone through this state of renewal because you were being overworked. And I'm not going to say that all people that work for a company, that it's like slavery, but it is almost like slavery or indentured serviturism when you're not getting paid the right amount or not being valued. And so she has definitely been guiding you towards working on something yourself, creating a body of writing, creating an art piece, something like this. I'm pretty sure she's the one that put the hieroglyphics up in the cave. And I'm also hearing that you have you're very connected to the earth and the elementals, the fairy realm, very, very connected to. And I want to say that mermaids are a type of fairy. They're like a water fairy, kind of. They're in the same dimension as that. So yeah, if you were feeling imbalanced, this is something that is a residual energy from being in indentured servitude or something like that. That is too many cards. And can we get them on the table today? Okay, let's see which ones are up. So 5 of fire. Yeah, conflicts, annoyances, and competition. In the past, you had to compete. So I'm picking up on all female lifetimes. That is really strange because I know you've had masculine lifetimes, but what I'm seeing are female lifetimes. The King of Earth, prosperous, generous, successful. The Lovers, relationships, emotions, and choices. So maybe in another lifetime, you were persecuted for your relationship choices. Kind of gives me like, not exactly Pocahontas, but kind of Pocahontas vibes. You know how she was really, I think her people kicked her out because she chose to be with Joseph Smith, one of those names. What she's saying is that you're free to choose who you love in this lifetimes. Yeah. You know what I would do is maybe do a past life regression meditation or hypnosis. I'm sure that YouTube has got a lot of those that you could search. That will help you go to, and you know what? Somebody needs to come up with a dream interpretation meditation. Maybe that's something that you could end up doing and creating for people. Because I do feel like going into the dream state and extracting the information of why you've had to fight so hard. You definitely had people that wanted to burn you at the stake in other lifetimes. I'm not necessarily picking up that you were burnt at the stake, but I feel like you had to, at a certain point, you had to compete with the men, like with the masculine healers just to be allowed to heal, basically. But you've always been this high priestess. This is like what runs in your blood. And then you've always awakened other people and you've brought passion into their life. Always. You help people get their wishes fulfilled, whether you realize it or not. That this lifetime is for you to get your wishes fulfilled. And I feel like this guardian wants you to know that you're safe to do that. Like you're safe to have the relationship that you want. You're safe to experience you existed on this planet at a time where there were no egos. So that's why this ego, it feels like she wants you to shed this yeah, it would be like a layer. Shed this layer of your ego that is in doubt or disbelief or even a little bit of fear, because you don't need to fear your abilities, even though they're extremely powerful. Like, you really don't need to fear them at all. I'm not picking up that fear is, and you may have an ability like Carrie, and I've said this before, like being able to move objects with your mind. You may have that ability, but you don't need to fear these gifts, because this is something that's being passed down. And trust me, you've used these abilities more and more in the past. Like Queen of Air, brilliant, experienced, and humorous. Wow. Yeah. Big queen vibes. Yes, they've gone through bigger battles. Yeah. And so that you, in this lifetime, you could find peace, and so that you could like basically lure other people, in a sense, to that same peace. Because a lot of people are struggling with, cultural differences. They're struggling with like generational curses. And you actually have the ability to break generational curses. And, so I don't know if you are interested in doing extra study, but you may want to think about studying hypnotherapy, and taking people back to the lifetime where the curse began. Or if it's this lifetime, then you wouldn't even have to do hypnotherapy. As a kid, you levitated for 5 seconds in the air, and your sickness. Wow. I had a levitation experience as well. Scared the crap out of everyone. Oh my gosh. Wow. So yeah, you do have like supernatural abilities, and she wants to know that your protection, she wants you to know your protection is supernatural. It goes far beyond this physical realm and the spiritual realm. Like, it literally goes through all of the elements, and nature itself is protecting you. And so it's like, when you guys, when you pray, it's like everything around you is listening. Like, everything is listening to your prayers. So I do feel like you've got a direct line to spirit. You don't need a middleman. You don't need to be initiated into anything. Yeah, and I know that you know that, but the spiritual initiations that come from this ancestor are like positive ones. They're not like traumatic ones. Like if you were to go into Ifa or Obia, those are different types of Orisha magic traditions. I feel like you can use magic because you have it naturally in your bloodline. Okay, good. Yeah, it's definitely a positive vibration. And I feel like this ancestor is watching over you and wants you to know that your children are safe. Like, she has got this. Because your children literally have the same gift. So they're very, very protected. And they're very old souls, like extremely old souls. So you've known them so many times. All right. I hope that helped. Definitely makes me feel better to know that you're bringing back the divine feminine on this planet. In such a divine way. In such a divine way. Okay, so let's see what else with this person. So there was definitely somebody that wanted to block y'all's prayers, aka this person. Then we discovered that the cat thing is not even real, which I had suspected it was an old wives' tale. And it absolutely was. But this person actually has some type of spirit inside their cat. I don't know how they've done this or if it happened on accident. When I used to live on the Indian burial grounds, I did notice that the animals that lived around me were straight up possessed, like by something else, and they like looked possessed, acted possessed. They would scare the crap out of me. Yes. Yeah. You definitely don't need to be afraid, because you're not facing any of the type of prosecution and oppression of what your ancestors faced, but you're still feeling the residual fear of what they went through. And so that's why healing and releasing is going to be really important. And then, allowing your gifts to work on their own without questioning them. sometimes we can go like, oh, why did I hear that? And then we just ignore it because it's like, doesn't make sense. But when you hear stuff, write it down. Even if it seems like it's not important, it may make sense to you later. And trust in the process of the fact that you don't have to do Aleister Crowley's like long ass ritual that nobody can complete because it's absolutely ridiculous. I've read the thing. To reach your guardian angel. Your guardian angel's completely reached out to you, which is something that I don't see very often. Somebody becoming a guardian angel, because it's like a 4,000 year commitment. Page of Cups. Beware of somebody wanting to come in to offer you guys like a service or something like that. I'm kind of picking up on these people being scam artists. You felt so much headache today. Oh, I'm so sorry. You felt like you've become death, although you prayed a lot. So I wonder what the best psalm for health is. It says that there's so many different ones. 5 psalms for when you feel sick. Let's just look at that. Cuz I don't know the answer to that, which psalm would be the best one. Psalm 6, God hears us. Okay. Psalm 38, you're not in this alone. So I'm going to type them in the chat. So Psalms for healing. And if you guys are struggling with your health, I would recommend these. So I'm getting that these are actually really good ones. Psalm 6 is God hears us. Psalm 38 is you're not in this alone. Psalm 41, God is healer. Psalm 35, fight back against illness. Psalm 73, don't compare and despair. Okay, so I would read those. Anytime that you start to feel sick, the one that I'm hearing that is the most powerful is the Psalm 41, God is healer. So let's just go ahead and look up Psalm 41. And I want to see what it says. Because again, why have I never thought about that? That's crazy. Says that blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. Their verbiage was so weird in the past. You feel like it's sitting on your head. Wow, you had a dream of channeling, casting out demons. What you were told, you found out they have 2 new gifts. Yeah, exorcism is definitely a gift. And so is discernment. So you think it's casting out, channeling. Absolutely. Been told to be careful and saw Archangel Michael. Good. Yeah. Archangel Michael is definitely with you guys. So it says, blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. And thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Okay, that means AKA sick bed, like passing away bed, right? Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness. I said, Lord, be merciful unto me, heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. Mine enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die and his name perish? And if he come to see me, he speaketh vanity. His heart gathereth iniquity to itself. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it. All that hate me whisper together against me, and against me they devise my hurt. And evil disease say they cleaveth fast unto him. And now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more. Yeah, mine own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, hath lifted up his heel against me. But thou, O Lord, be merciful unto me, and raise me up, that I may requite them. By this I know that thou favorest me, because mine enemy doth not triumph over me. And as for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity, and settest me before thy face forever. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel from everlasting to everlasting. Amen and amen. Wow, I've never ever read that one before. So there's numerous reasons why that psalm is extremely powerful for healing. In fact, I actually feel a little bit better from just reading that. Wow. And that whole part of not giving you over to the desires of your, like sometimes we think because we don't have $1 billion in the bank, or we are still living in the same place, sometimes we think that God doesn't have our back, but we really don't even know how many. Yeah, it was awesome. We don't know how many things that God has saved us from, and how many times God's not allowed us to be given over to the devices and desires of our enemies, the people that speak out against you. Wow. And just know that when it comes to healing, God can do anything. Like I've literally seen God do the impossible. Like I've seen God take away 40 years of somebody doing witchcraft on people in the blink of an eye, and then took that person's gifts and everything completely all gone at once. And that's something I would think that was impossible to happen, but God can do anything. So I think sometimes like because we feel limited, we will put a limit on the divine and think that the divine won't be able to do that much for us, but it's actually not true. The divine is totally here for us and is able to do much more than what we can comprehend. And I do feel like the more that we trust and believe in that, the more it will line us up to actually experience and witness a miracle. And the fact that these people, I feel like these people that don't like y'all, or they're envious or whatever, I really feel like they're scratching their heads just like, wait a minute, we've done this, and this to block them. How are they not completely destroyed? And it's like, yo, because obviously God favors this person, just like it said in the psalm. And it's like, if these people are the type of people that would try to destroy another person and then be very confused when it backfires right in their face and it ends up getting them destroyed. And they're going to be like, well, why did that happen? It's like, are you joking, right? Why did that? You were persecuting an innocent person. Why did that happen? Like, come on, yo. Some people really, really believe that God's not watching or something, but the thing is that God allows us all to have free will and is always giving us unconditional love and is always going to be that positive source of contact. It's never going to be negativity. And I know that the Bible says God's vengeful and all that, but I perceive it to be more of God is pretty much all encompassing love, and people that do bad have bad done to them because it's karma. What could you put out? God's not going to get in the way of somebody's karma if they need to learn a lesson. And that's what we're dealing with here. Is somebody literally tried to go into the spirit and they prayed to God using Bible verses and saying basically that your prayers should not be heard. That's some audacity that they have there. I mean, that's really some big cojones. And it's all because they want to make you a super fishy offer, you guys. Having so many gifts and guides and visions and dreams at the spiritual journey has been a little overwhelming, for sure. How did I manage mine? Just knowing that going within is how you get to God, knowing that my higher self is God, and then just allowing that oneness of spirit. Yeah, you know what? It starts with going within. It really does. It starts with going in, accessing that your higher self and that oneness of spirit, and then allowing everything else just to fall into that. And so, when you're getting a lot of visions at one time or a lot of stimulation, you may want to just put on, like, if you've got one of those sleeping blindfolds, and put in an earbud so you have absolute total silence. Because what happens when you slow the mind down and you slow your thoughts down, you can become aware of your thoughts, and then you'll get to a point where you just stop having thoughts. And now at that point, it's going to be completely silent. You'll then start to hear stuff. And so whenever you hear stuff, write it down or contemplate on it, because that's where the deep downloads are, basically. Yes, yeah, let it flow and stay grounded. And like I was saying, if you feel like you're getting too much communication and there's too much noise going on around you, um, you know, do some sensory deprivation so that you can go within yourself and find that calm. Because underneath that calmness is every download, every answer, and the essence of God. And you can focus on, when you're breathing in a meditation, focus on the space in between each breath. So that little bit of space, okay, and then it expands. Oh, good. I'm glad you had good dreams, Ragnarok. Because somebody is seeing you guys in the Ten of Cups here. They see this happy family and the rainbow and everything. Like, that's very significant to me. They see you being very happy. This person is very confused as to why their prayers were not answered over yours. That's crazy. Yes, absolutely continue with your vision writing, for sure. And then, because I do get that your clairaudience is about to be turned up. So what I do is, if my gifts become too much, I'll try to do something to disengage them, or I'll imagine in my mind like a stereo, like the turning thing to a stereo, and I'll be like, okay, it's just a little bit cranked up too much today. I'm just going to turn that down to like a comfortable level. And that way I can kind of visualize myself gaining control over them. Because other than that, when you go through an awakening, it can be extremely overwhelming. Look at this, the 10 of Cups on the Wheel of Fortune. You guys, your wishes fulfilled and your destiny coming into completion. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is so awesome. Seriously, it says joy and happiness, forgiveness and reconciliation. Like I said, God can restore people's families, you know, how to organize them all and learn from them without getting overwhelmed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, what I did is I just would write everything down, or I would speak it into my phone and have my phone record it. And then when something would happen, like out of the ordinary, I would go back and I would look at what I wrote down. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And I would start to understand what spirit was trying to tell me. And you can always ask for greater like explanation of things if you feel like you don't understand what it's trying to tell you. But yeah, I feel like your memory is going to become very vivid as well. So you're going to be remembering these downloads like almost like symbols or something. You had a dream of elves. Elves are awesome. I love elf energy. So yeah, somebody is singing you. They're singing you. They're seeing you. Literally, somebody, okay, this person could be a singer. Maybe they want to be a singer. They're seeing you with your Wheel of Fortune. And this person has been trying to gain access to your downloads because they know that you have some type of missing knowledge that the other angels don't have, and it's not in any type of book. It was in heaven, but you brought it to the earth with you. So this Queen of Wands is definitely a witch. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm always here for you whenever you need. Well, I'm not always online, but when I am online. Ideally, if I had the energy to do this all the time, all day, I would probably do it. Even you were sleeping and instantly wake up. Oh, you saw the live and joined in. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm so glad. This Knight of Pentacles, you've got quite a few different energies here that are after your lucky charms. This is kind of interesting to me. How do they know that you're in your destiny? Well, I guess it's everybody's destiny to become a spiritual being. And that's truly what we are, spiritual beings having physical experiences. But these people that are looking at you, they want something from you, but they'll never come to you. They want you to like read their mind or something. Like, what is that? Yeah, they know that you're this Hierophant. They know that you are definitely this Hierophant. That you don't have to, like, the stuff that these people have to do with witchcraft to even appear talented, it doesn't work. They also were like literally trying to petition that your prayers are not answered. That backfired. That's like actually getting your prayers answered even more because somebody tried to do that. God's extremely offended with that type of behavior of going into the spirit and trying to complain against somebody else's like natural protection. This person definitely is somebody that likes to go to church and then they like to do witchcraft after church, in the corner, in the closet. It's a in the closet witch, basically. They would never admit that they, use the book of Psalms against people. And there's nothing wrong with doing that if you have a legitimate reason and if there's a real need to be protected. But when this person is just trying to weaken you, they just don't want you knowing that your prayers are being answered. They're trying to weaken that. Yeah, they don't want you being seen on the World Wide Web. I don't know why. I think that that's because it's part of your destiny to be either gurus, teachers, healers, spiritual people, the light workers and starseeds of this planet. Literally, like this world energy just confirms to me that you are of Mother Gaia. Like you guys are deeply rooted to the earth, and there's nothing that's going to unroot you. This person can try to put as many roots on you as they want, but they'll actually take root because you are the root of the earth. Like literally, the planet would not be doing well if you guys were not here. So just don't ever undervalue yourself. Because if Mother Nature would create a natural disaster to keep you safe from these people, that might be what happens. If somebody wants to come forward and offer you something that has to do with witchcraft and you're not going to be interested in it. Or maybe they're going to ask you to join their coven or something, or secret society. Like I said, they know that you're a Hierophant and that you haven't had any formal training as being a Hierophant. And that makes them very afraid of you guys. Oh, well, I hope you're feeling better, Gagan, because that after reading that health psalm, I feel like actually pretty good. I feel actually a lot better. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to read the rest of those psalms that article was saying are good for health, because I don't know why that never occurred to me. Psalm 91 is like one of the best ones for protection because it covers all angles, and you have successfully kicked these people out of your energy. Whoever these three people are, this Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, they're no longer connected in your energy. So they're wondering what you did. I feel like this Queen of Wands knows that you prayed, and they are very upset that their prayers are not being answered because they were praying for some type of illusion to occur. Literally, these people are delusional. Yes. Yeah. Read those Psalms for help. These people are delusional to think that they're going to be able to block your guys' prayers. Like, you're joking, right? And maybe this person doesn't know that I'm also praying for you guys as well. You guys have most good. You're using singing bowls. Oh, I'm so glad that you've decided to get some, because they really, really help. Yeah. This person, you use a tool until you don't need it anymore. And eventually your spirituality will develop to the point where you don't need tools at all. Wow, you felt like you were glowing yesterday after some prayer you did. You know what? Heat is coming out of my ears. So this person is trying to listen in spiritually. This isn't a physical thing, but they're trying to listen in to see what is going to happen next. I feel like these people want to know if they're going to be reprimanded. YouTube channel Sedona Crystal Temple singing bowls. Wow. The bowls are actually made of crystals. Yes, absolutely. I've got some that are made out of crystals. Like this is quartz. Yeah, the ones that are made out of crystals are so awesome because it takes that. Well, first of all, you can program quartz crystal to do anything that you want. And then when you're playing it, it takes those crystal properties and it spreads it out. Yeah, it helps so much. It's so good. Yeah. And tuning forks are also really, really good. I mean, they help with frequency quite a bit. So this illusion energy, these people have been disillusioned, literally. I feel like what they were wishing for is for you to fail, and that's not going to happen. They just keep seeing you be successful. Here comes this King of Swords again, this very judgmental masculine energy that feels like, you know, they're going to stop you. No, they're not. I feel like these people have been trying for so long to keep you asleep, and it's a no. I also just felt a jinn run out of here, like it's being forced out. So your prayers are actually forcing these spirits out of other people. Because again, don't hate the person, hate the spirit that operates. Actually, don't hate anything. But there is a saying that says, don't hate the person, hate the spirit that's behind them, you know? You like the Buddhist Mahakala chants. Wow. The protector Mahakala is very strong. Interesting. I don't know who that is. But Black Tara here, she is definitely will help you if you have rage and wrath. I don't know all of the Buddhist deities, but there's also one, I think it's called Jambala, and he is like yellow, Jambala. Anyways, he's really good for financial and abundance stuff. Yes, that's exactly it. Wow, your mother is so intuitive. That's Gagan, that's exactly it. These people do get informed about our prayers working, and then they try to send something stronger, or they try to find a way to work around that prayer, which is idiotic. Because again, what prayer does is it connects your request to the Most High God. So once the Most High God's functioning and working in it, which is always, there is no avenue to get around prayer. These people are really stupid. I think that people that think that they're God in somebody else's life, or that they can play God by being manipulative and doing this witchcraft, is foolish. They're always going to end up getting their ass kicked by Archangel Michael, like permanently and forever. And they're going to be permanently wounded. This is why it is so dangerous to attack people, especially people that you don't know. And these people, it's like literally trying to attach shit to your bloodline, and your bloodline is like, no, we have the ability to exorcise demons, and we're not playing that shit over here. You guys have a lot of protection coming through, and you're able to balance like life work. You're able to balance work and play. And this person wants to see you out of balance because they feel like you'll be easier to attack. You're very welcome. Yeah, heck yeah. Listening to Buddhist monks chants helps a lot too. Absolutely. When you guys find something that works for you, use it for sure. You know, like I said, you'll only need a tool for a certain amount of time, and then the tool won't even be necessary because you'll basically have evolved, right? Yeah, you wonder these people. Like I used to have to burn candles a lot to transmute energy. And especially when I was burning candles for other people and praying for them. But now that I don't burn any candles anymore, my gifts evolved to where I can just transmute the energy right on the spot. So yeah, you'll evolve all of you will get to that point as well. Yeah, you wonder why these people are family, same family instead. They're so jealous and have so much hatred. Yeah, it's a lot of envy, to be honest. Envy and jealousy. We have the moon. These people need to be worried. They seriously need to be worried about this because this is going to be such a bad backfire. They're going to be like, holy crap, you must be the biggest magician ever, not even realizing that it's your ancestors that are doing the majority of the work, and it's your higher self and higher power that's not going to let this shit go through. Like when you say a prayer, you build up a barrier of energy that does not allow these people's wicked deeds to get through. They're in the tower with the moon. Their personal like ethics were being tested. It's almost like God was using you to goat them in to see if what they were going to do, because you still have this Ace of Cups. This is like the Holy Grail energy. Temperance and the Holy Grail. Yeah, you know how to alchemize your energy and you can stand your ground. And you've got loyal people coming into your life. This hangman energy, these people are being sacrificed. Literally, they're being sacrificed. I mean, not with like a knife, but they're like literally being energetically sacrificed because they tried to put you out of balance. They tried to mess with some type of equilibrium that you've established. And it's a no, you're not going backwards. Just because these people feel insecure and uncomfortable with your spiritual growth doesn't mean you should stop. Like you're going to come across a lot of people that are just purely either mentally ill, or they've got an attachment, or they're jealous, or they're envious. They're people that were born messed up. You're gonna see people like that on your spiritual journey, and yeah, I love Michael too. Oh my gosh, so much. And it's not really your job to fix these people, but God is using you guys as the tool of awakening so that these people can wake up and stop doing their witchcraft, because literally it's not working. And there are just some people, these witches and warlocks don't understand that there are just some people that you cannot touch, that you can send a lot of death magic to, but it doesn't mean it's going to work. And when you're in your purpose and your divine calling, you are beyond protected. I mean, literally, when it says, you will not strike your foot against a stone, literally, you won't even stub your damn toe. I'm not even joking. This is like somebody wants you to be having like frivolous accidents where you lose your coordination. This Queen of Wands is very jealous of somebody's psychic ability, because she doesn't have that. She has to do witchcraft to get it. But if she had it, she would be doing this betraying, Five of Swords crap, where it's all about putting the self first and using abilities and magic to make their wishes and dreams come true. But instead of them wishing for something good for themselves, they wish for bad shit for other people, and they waste a lot of their time on other people. So these people essentially are just giving you their power. They're giving you their abilities, basically, and they don't even realize that. Let's see. Yes, Gandalf, agent of the secret fire. Yes, wielder of the flames of Anor. Absolutely. That burning fire. And I literally command any satanic or demonic altar with your name on it to be burnt up by Holy Spirit fire. Because that shit is ridiculous. I am still seeing a djinn. So whatever this djinn stuff is, let's get rid of that. It's like, are you going to notice me? Are you going to notice me? Are you going to notice me? Yes, I'm going to notice you because you keep moving in the peripheral and I can see it. And I feel like this thing is a trickster, yo. It's like not all jinns are mischievous. Bullshit. I'm sorry, but bullshit. Oh my God. I feel like this Queen of Wands has committed an illegal crime, not just spiritually illegal, but physically. It could be that they want to prevent, yeah, me from helping you. It could be that. No, jinns are like basically invisible. Kind of like if you were to see somebody, oh, I know a good example. In Harry Potter, when they take that cape, the invisibility cape, and they put it over themselves, and so you can still kind of see them, like the outline of them, but you can't exactly see them. That's what jinns look like. But jinns can actually shapeshift into whatever they want. So they could look like an old hag, but I'm getting that the old hag energy that you're seeing is it's this type of fairy creature that's literally called a hag. And they help people. Well, basically they're protectors of nature, but they will help people with potions and stuff like that. They can be very frightening though. Like they don't understand that they're ugly. Not to be rude, but they don't understand that they're ugly and creepy looking, literally. And that's kind of like a lot of the spirit guides are like, what's the problem? Wow, there's Muslims that think you're a demon. They abuse jinns on you. Wow, they don't accept that you're a prophet because they believe Muhammad was the last one. How naive is that? Really? There are lots of prophets on this world. Good God. Good God. Wow. So you guys are dealing with these jinns. These jinns keep trying to work their magic against you and it's backfiring. I'm also getting that energy of somebody's shadow somebody's trying to put you in your shadow, which you've already done the shadow work. So I'm like seeing Peter Pan get the shadow sewn onto his foot, like literally. Somebody tried to detach that. That's pretty weird. These people are extremely desperate. Yes, you notice them trying to mess with your dreams and visions. Yeah, I feel like this jinn energy needs to be cleared out. God, can we clear this jinn energy out? And whatever is going on with it. I don't care what their agenda is, but I know that they've got, like, it's like literally, look what I just pulled, the Nine of Cups. Does that not look like a genie right there? That is so funny. So basically, these people are seeing that your deepest wishes are being granted and theirs are not. The thing is that when people wish upon a jinn, it's like very destructive because that jinn will make your wish come true in the most worst way where you will hate what you wished for, never wish you would have done it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't want you being in your shadow. So that does make sense to somebody. Okay. Hyde is sleeping. Oh my God, Ragnarok, the dream I had a few nights ago that was a nightmare where there was people chasing us around with these syringes filled with like green stuff and they were injecting people and then yeah, it was just a very bad dream. Then everybody would turn into like a Mr. Hyde or whichever one's the monster out of Jekyll and Hyde. I think it's Hyde. But yeah, yeah, my dreams were about that. People, it was really scary. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if there's something in the Quran that gets rid of jinns, but isn't it the Quran? Let's see. What prayer can be used against jinns? Yeah, it says Islamic prayer. And this is like literally, it says the 3 last chapters of the Quran. Yeah, it's about verses about seeking refuge in Allah from devils and jinn. So hopefully they have that in English. It says other practices include reciting Surah al-Baqarah, remembering Allah frequently, saying the Adhan, and other general protective supplications for times of difficulty or before engaging in actions like eating or entering a new place. Interesting. So if you use the Ayat al-Kursi, Quran 2, I'm going to just type it in the chat. It's Quran 2, 255. What that does is it's a powerful shield against jinn and demons. So that one specifically will help. Let's just take a look at it. Wow. It says, Allah, there is no God worthy of worship except him, the ever-living, all-sustaining. Neither drowsiness nor sleep overtakes him. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. Who could possibly intercede with him without his permission? He fully knows what is ahead of them and what is behind them, but no one can grasp any of his knowledge except what he wills to reveal. His seat encompasses the heavens and the earth, and the preservation of both does not tire him, for he is the Most High, the greatest. Interesting. It says, let there be no compulsion in religion, for the truth stands out clearly from falsehood. So whoever renounces false gods and believes in Allah has certainly grasped the firmest unfailing hand-holding, and Allah is all-hearing and all-knowing. Wow. So there's a lot of different ones. There's a lot of different things in the Quran that can be used from what I'm seeing here. There's quite a few actually that can be used. I just felt something shift though, literally in my vision. Whoa. It's a praise, prayers, non-defiance chant. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know anything about the Quran, to be honest with you guys, or I don't know. I know a little bit about Muslims, but not a whole lot. I don't really study religion, but I do know that there are always a sliver of truth in each religion. So yeah, when it comes to dealing with jinn, I feel like that's a really good source because whatever that energy was is gone now. And they did not want me to find that information to read it. Look at this. This is your inheritance, you guys. So part of your wish fulfillment is getting to use your inheritance while being on the earth, which is beautiful. I feel like somebody sees that you have a money-making gift and they're like tripping out about that because they don't have one. First of all, I feel like they did have gifts. They just didn't want the gifts that they had. They also misused these talents. How did they misuse them? By going into the spirit and using their abilities to try to block you. That's how they misused it. And, you know, you guys have tolerated a lot of shit. Yeah. Kali Ma. I love Kali. I mean, she's one of my favorite feminine energies. And the good thing about Kali is that she can attack things from being far away. Yeah, good. I'm glad that you're calling on her when you feel negative energy around. Okay, let's get a conclusion on this reading on who this person is. Well, actually, there was 3 people, but why they're trying to work against you in spirit. I think that obviously you getting your wishes fulfilled is something that this person doesn't want to see, but they knew that that was going to happen anyways. King of Wands, there is definitely a masculine energy that wants you to turn away from God. They could be involved in doing something illegal against you. Again, I'm not trying to scare anybody. So if you feel scared, that part's not for you. But this person could have been trying to mess with your finances or mess with your internet connection or just hack into something. They want to know what you're doing and who you're talking to that's getting you unstuck, like desperately. But they don't even realize that you're already being monitored by another higher force. The Three of Swords, they're just waiting. These people are waiting for the right time to try to betray you. And it's a no-go. This is like seriously somebody trying to get into your spiritual vault, like in the heavens, and they don't have a freaking key. They would have to like break in, and these people show up and realize that it's a system that cannot be broken into. And then they get caught up with spirit. She's a vampire for sure. Literally, these people get caught up with spirit in such a negative way. Like, to the point where they're betraying each other now. This is all because of you being an empress, you holding empress energy, or you're with an empress, or you are the empress. I knew that that's what it was. It's like, not just that, it's because you're a hierophant, and whoever this is in the legal system, you've got somebody actually watching over you now. Whatever this nonsense was that was happening before about your inheritance is being cleared up. I can feel it. And these people are very confused because in their minds, they made a wish upon a jinn to have everything that's coming to you. So they're like, why am I not this person? Why have I not been magically turned into this person? Yo, and why is this person still here? This person's still here because a jinn can't complete that request. That's why they just hang around. The sun, you're still the light worker that you are. This person's not going to be able to steal your light. They're not going to be able to harvest it. They're not going to be able to stop it. And they're not going to be able to, like, if this person gets in your way in any type of way, you're just going to shine that light on them and they're going to burn up like a vampire. So if I were them, I would stick to, well, if I were them, I would go to God and apologize for trying to block your prayers. But yeah, whatever you guys are doing to cleanse your energy, it's working. And to ground yourself, because this person's been trying to put a root on you. Eight of Wands. They want you to be at a crossroads to where you have to choose between two different bad choices. And that's not even going to happen. It's them that's going to be at the crossroads. This person, like, is somebody that cries wolf a lot. They're always complaining to spirit that you're doing something that you're not doing, knowing that God knows that this person's a whiny crybaby. Not to be rude, but they do cry a lot about things that they have no control over. That, like your strength, for one. Seriously, these people are not going to be able to strip anything from you. In fact, the more that they attempt to do that, the more God gives to you, and God trusts you completely and fully. That's why God's given you these supernatural abilities, because you're not going to lash out and hurt and harm people, and you guys never have been those type of people. These types of people that don't have the gifts, that have to do witchcraft to still not have the gifts, they lash out and they hurt people because they're very, very insecure. And I feel like it's extremely dangerous to not know who you are in this day. And when God has shown you who you are, nobody can say anything contrary to that. It doesn't even matter, because you already know who you are spiritually. Like, you are a very powerful light worker, light being that has come to this planet at this crucial time of ascension to aid the planet in growth. And somebody wants to stop you for that. I feel like somebody's trying to compete with you. Maybe they want to do the same exact thing as you without doing any work. You're over here doing the work and getting the good side effects of that. And this other person wants to do the same shit, but it's not working the same. There is a Muslim that wants to steal your light so that he can claim to be the Mahdi. I don't even know what the Mahdi is. Is that like the savior? Yes. If they want something, why don't they just ask? Because what they're asking for is evil. They want something bad to happen. Oh, did you? Yeah, the table was shaking for a second. But yeah. They're very concerned about this strength that you have. I feel like these people are in the Five of Pentacles. They've been casted away by some type of religion or spiritual institution. And so they don't have the backing that they used to have. And that I did pick up that this witch was somebody that goes to church and then after church they go home and do witchcraft. Maybe they've been caught. And that could be another reason why society is sacrificing them. Yes, humans have to make themselves worthy to receive gifts. Exactly. AKA living life in the upright, which means taking care of the chakras. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give all your money to the poor, but when you see somebody starving or hurting that you just decide to help them, God's going to always bless you abundantly so you can bless other people. These people are in the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, like literally. They're carrying the 10 of Wands, and they could be facing a court case or legal battle. This person wants you to pay their legal fees. You're not even involved in this court case. So I don't know how they were literally thought they were going to use a djinn to get you locked up illegally. That is fucking ridiculous, you guys. Yeah, what they wanted to happen is not going to happen. They wanted a death to occur. This is an ending of having to be oppressed by anybody. They wanted to intercede on you getting messages and downloads, which is a no. Okay, you're very strong in that aspect. And they wanted you to make some type of deal about your fertility and where you're going to go in life. And it's a no-go. You're not going to be making any deals with the devil or anything else that's weird. And trust me, you've got a couple people that really want you to make a compromise. They want you to compromise your spiritual growth so that they can catch up with you. Because this person, they want to go on this ride of this spiritual journey with you, basically. They want to go with you, but they were never invited and they're not doing the right things to be in your position. Like they can't be in your position, but they're just not doing the right things. What God has commanded this person to do, they refuse to do. They want to do witchcraft instead. And that's definitely on them. But they better stop. If this is somebody's mother-in-law, they need to get out of your energy while they still have life in their body, because God is about to come down really hard on this person. Yeah, it's somebody that wants to stop your Two of Cups love. Like, you're still getting a love offer from the universe. Literally, you and your ancestors are still coming together. These people were very delusional to think that they were going to be able to stop and block you forever. I mean, even a little bit is delusional, because that's just not what's happening here. The Eight of Cups, they're going to all have to walk away from this looking stupid. And it's like your name is being vindicated and it's being cleared. And these people don't like that because it paints them in a really bad light, because they were trying to persecute an innocent person, all because they wanted what you envisioned. They wanted your dreams and downloads to come to them. It's a no. It's absolutely a no. All right. Is there anything else? What is going to become of these people? Are they just going to get out of the energy and stay out? I already feel like you've cut the important people off. The ones that you needed to cut off, you've definitely cut their energy off. Whatever prayers you guys are doing, keep praying. I would be including any type of spirit, including jinns or whatever else. Yeah, these people are faced with many. Yeah, some people have gifts at a child's age. Exactly, because God knows your spirit. The Seven of Swords, these people have a lot of different choices that they could take. Okay. But you are the only option that is not available to these people. Like them attacking you is the only option that's not available. And so they feel like they have no options because that's what they've been trying to do. And so it's a no. That shit is being reversed. You guys could feel a lot of swirling energy. That's because there's a big reversal happening. These people are going to be breadcrumbed by the universe eternally, because that's what the energy they wanted to put you guys in, and it's a no. These people are really evil. They felt like they were going to block your spiritual path, aka you from being able to get abundance. And then once they had done that, they thought that they were going to bring you to the dark side. You guys would never betray God and never betray your gifts. That's why you still have a 10 of Pentacles that will always be yours. Inheritance, gift, and money-making abilities. These people were spying on you foolishly, not even realizing that by watching you like that, You know, you're basically causing these people to wake up from what they were doing and realize that this dumb witchcraft shit is not good. The Knight of Swords, yeah, there's somebody coming in that has higher authority that is going to put these people in their place. It's going to tell them that they need to leave you and your 10 of Pentacles alone. And if they don't, they're going to go to jail, literally. Because somebody tried to bring some bullshit to the legal system. Justice, you will receive public recognition. 6 of Wands. Like, seriously. You will be recognized for your hard work. I don't know why these people would try to stop that, but they're trying to get out ahead of like a freight train that's going 1,000 miles an hour. You know, they should really instead be trying to get their ass off the tracks instead of trying to stand there and slow your train down. Your train's not going to slow down. If they get in the way, they're going to get ran over. And that's what these people need to understand. Yes, the world is so far behind mentally. Well, these people, I feel like witchcraft is very fraudulent. I don't know why it makes people think these it's fantasy. Like, it's true fantasy that they can just wish upon a djinn and then tomorrow they can become you. Like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. I literally, who would want to wish to become somebody else? I would just I don't even want to make any wishes because I'm so afraid that jinns will come fuck it up. But yeah, I feel like also because you don't have the same desires as these people, your guys are getting spared. All right, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for the super chat, Girl Gone. You guys are awesome. Yeah, these people are delulu. Oh my God. That's exactly it. I don't know who keeps telling these people that they can do this dumb shit, but yeah, I hope that they definitely change their ways. I hope that they find God. I pray that they find God. And I pray that whatever this situation is with the jinn, that gets resolved, because that was a major blockage with somebody else trying to make their wishes come true over yours. And that will never happen. All right, you guys, I love you. Giving you air hugs and lots of love. Peace be with you. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've tapped that notification bell. And what's the other thing? And like the video. Yeah. And if you guys would like to tip or donate, there are links in the description box below. But I am very happy with your likes, your subscribes, and all that stuff really helps us support the channel. It is the Matrix blindness. Seriously. They will fall into their own trap. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, it really is. All right, you guys, I love you. Know that God loves you, and so do I. Until the next reading, peace be with you. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.